Hey everybody. So Tulsa King, episode 2 of season 3. So we're seeing it kind of kick right back off from episode 1, where the house has been burnt down and Stallone, the white I should say, is there with his crew, and they're taking into the wreckage of what's going on. And it kind of gets the ball rolling there. We're still seeing the tension between Tulsa and Kansas City as they're kind of navigating this new partnership, which is a kind of like an underlying storyline. And then, of course, New York is looming in the background as well. So Dwight's in the thick of a lot of things. And what should have been a death sentence, he has turned it into a paradise. One thing about Dwight, this dude is a hustler. In their terminology, they call him an earner. And so he earns, he makes money. What saves Dwight from a lot of these guys coming against him is he's a moneymaker. And people can't afford to kill Dwight because he brings in so much money. We see that the Still daughter and my boy got the used cars lot. They're really getting closer together, and they got history too. So, a lot of those things kind of factor in. Now, one thing I noticed about these last 2 episodes in season 3, there's a lot of story crammed into these. I would say so far that these 2 episodes, there's more story than we were typically used to seeing the Tulsa King. It was like these characters are built to the point now. Dwight doesn't have to be directly involved into some of the twists and turns, and these characters are getting a lot of time to breathe. And I think season 3 is a good place to really let these characters blossom. And so I really like what they're doing with letting some of these characters breathe and not necessarily be directly connected to Dwight to some of their conflict. And now that they're kind of got their feet wet in this lifestyle, you're seeing their lives kind of alter and seeing people change. And I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing with season 3, because like first seasons 1 and 2, everybody's life was kind of was the impact of the white. Now we're seeing the aftermath of it and how life has changed, and now they're growing as characters. And so I really like that kind of subtle to a curve they did in the writing. It's still in the vein in the culture of the show, but is allowing a lot of these characters to breathe and really become more memorable in their own approach. And I think that's a really good move. I really like the big bad in this season, and I think he's cold. He has this reputation of not the guy to mess with, and he wants that to steal. We find out why. There is barrels buried down in the grounds there of like 50-year-old scotch, 50-year-old rum that's worth like $5,000 a bottle. And that's like I forgot how it came out, but it's like millions basically buried on that property. Now the daughter didn't know it until after the dad died as he found it, and so we now know why there was so much motivation for them to make that deal. And they wanted the barrels, this money in the ground, literally waiting to be printed. And so Dwight goes into one of the guys to get distribution. Old dude hears about it, man. They put the pause on that dude. So this dude is eliminating anybody. He doesn't give no one breathing room. He ain't giving nobody mercy. He knows one gear only: cold. This brother is cold. And I think this is gonna be a really good antagonist for Dwight. They might partner because in the way Tulsa King works. There's sometimes people can be really beefing with Dwight, and you think it's about to be like a knockout, drag out, bloody, and then Dwight will flip his business hat on and see how he can profit from his opponent or his adversary. And so Dwight, he knows when it needs to be a slaughter and when it needs to be business. And I'll give that to Dwight. He knows, and not only that, he knows he's limited on what he has when it comes to forces, and he has New York not backing him. So he has to be very calculated in his moves. And Dwight's an old gangster. All right, he's not a fresh young buck getting into the game. Dwight got decades. You know what I'm saying? He got decades and decades and decades, and he's a gangster with a chip on his shoulder. And for him to be locked up as long as he's been locked up, he feels like he has to make up time, but he has limited time. So his moves have to be so precise and so calculated to make it work. So we see, really this evolution of a lot of the characters in season at episode 2. One of the things I'm really excited to see, that Dwight's trying to gain power. I think that power may be for the FBI guy that sniped, that grabbed him at the end of season 2. I think he's trying to get some people in political power in other places to make him more protected. And so, which is smart, not only just from his adversaries, but also from that guy. And the more power he has in the government, the better he'll be. And so Dwight's making calculated decisions with that. So if you haven't seen Tulsa King, you need to see it. We're only in season 3, episode 2, but I would encourage you to binge it the next couple of days and get caught up, for you can know what's going on, because I believe this is one of the best shows on TV right now.